giving people is like really setting them up for success and anything else, man. So we gonna get into it, man.
Oh yeah, man. That's what it's all about is how can we add value to what you're doing?
Exactly,
That is the main thing.
exactly. All right, man. So we are live and in effect. I was gonna do like a long intro. I don't really have one. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, fam. Simply
Oh, it's all
because,
good.
simply because, like, we don't need to have a long intro. But I do want to do one thing. No, I do want to do one thing, man, because this is all about branding. And if you're just tuning in, let me move some stuff around. Just tuning in. We appreciate you guys coming on. This is episode 24
Yeah, man.
of Hans, Nobi, and Theo Mackey's podcast, Capitalism and Art. I'm your man, Hans Nobi. I am looking for my drop. God dog it, where is it? Hold on. Let me get it. Let me get it one time for the one time. Let's go.
Duh, it's Hans Nobi.
Oh man.
You bitch you. Alrighty. Now I'm good. Now we can here's the reveal. What's going on, everybody? Again, it's Hans Nobi, Still Mackey, episode 24, Capitalism and Art. Appreciate you tuning in. Let me go ahead and share a couple things to the socials, man. But while we're here, definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. Theo, while I share some stuff to the socials, man, tell me how your week has been.
And the week's been rocking, man. The week's been rocking. And the industry's been moving. School's been moving. Everything is a blessing, to be completely honest. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, I am in school, you know what I'm saying, getting my master's in communication. You know what I'm saying? Education is everything, regardless if you do it the university platform or get that street knowledge, just get your knowledge up. You know what I'm saying? That situation is going beautiful. Like we said, the industry is going bananas right now. Amongst everything that's going on, we're still seeing acquisitions. We're still seeing people do incredibly creative things. And the whole conversation of superfan just truly came back in a big way. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kanye West with that one. So it's gonna be real dope. I think the podcast is definitely gonna be fly tonight.
Yeah, I think so too, man. We got a lot of stuff to cover. Um, I think for the most part, this has been with all the stuff that's happening. It's pretty great. Not in the sense of like, oh, we've got a lot of great content, but it's like the industry is definitely moving. I can definitely tell for 100% the offices are back because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm tired of shit. The reason why I'm tired of shit is guess who getting phone calls to send reference tracks, demos, and beats in for for placements. This guy. Not only is it this guy, it's my engineer and my other producer that I work with as well. Shout out to Siobhan. Shout out to my man Keys, and shout out to Chris Rivaro, who's part of the Room 380 team. It's like we're busy again, so that's great.
For real.
So that's great. In regards to that, yeah, my week has been like people are back outside. That I mean, this is plain and simple. Like now, people are picking up the phone again. It's like, hey Hans, and
Mm-hmm.
hey, how's it going? And like now, like I can always tell. I can always tell because um, it sounds so bad. I can always tell people are back outside because people are friendlier again.
Uh-huh.
That's one thing about this city. Is if you want to know the weather's getting nice, if it's getting better, because I'm just like only thing I wore today was like a hoodie and a jacket, right? And I know for my
Mm-hmm.
family back home in Houston, that's like wow, it's a lot of clothing. You don't understand.
Right.
It's a warm 45 degrees. So like everyone like now now everyone's they give you the head nod again. You know
Right.
when it was that winter, he's like, if you look at me in my face, I'm gonna smack you. So
Get up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
But my week has been great. Oh, I didn't even change that. Hold on, I didn't even. I gotta change that. I gotta change that. Hold up. I thought I did change it. Gotta get y'all. I gotta get y'all right.
That new title.
Yeah, change the game. Look, you guys get to see this in real time. Look at the content we give you guys in real time, man.
Yeah, I see it raw.
I see it right. But no, but yeah, my week has been fantastic, man. I'm ready to get into some stuff. It's a lot of great things. Hold on. I have to give a shout out to us real quick. just really quick, and then we'll get into the stuff because I don't want these intros to be long, so I get into it quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to say one thing to everyone that's DM'd me, were in my mentions, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, who said that they checked out the podcast and we're giving them more information that's helped them as an artist or a producer. That really means a lot to us. Like, that really means a lot to us, man. So I was just telling Theo, and I won't reveal people's names. I don't know if they want their business out there, but a producer homie of mine that's working with Ski Beats and stuff, his birthday was today. And so I don't know why Facebook has it, but sometimes, like, if you try to write on someone's wall, happy birthday, like if they have like the donation thing, Facebook disables you from like writing on their wall for whatever reason. So I couldn't write on his wall, happy birthday. And so I was like, all right, so I just sent him a DM. So I sent him a DM, say, hey man, happy birthday. And he sends me a screenshot of his BMI. And he says, bro, because of you and information you've given me over the past couple years, not only have I, sent stuff out and started working on my own production, working on my own album, I just started my very own publishing company. And man, when he said, I was like, oh shit. I guess people really do appreciate these rant. To me, it's just a rant. Like that's the thing. From you guys' eyes, right. Apparently, again, you guys won't write this in the comments. You send me a DM. I'm going to start screenshotting this stuff. That's what I'm going to do. Next podcast, Theo remind me. Screenshot the stuff. I'll block out the names so you guys to know, like, I'm not bullshitting. Like, I'm actually getting this. But yeah, like hearing information like that, man, like that makes it worth it. Again, I started this shit as a rant, and I invited Theo one time. And I was like, oh, Theo, oh yeah, that's right. Theo really knows his shit, and this is becoming like a thing. And like I said, we're still working on the Facebook group. We're still tightening some things up. But just like I've been very busy. But we'll give it to you, man. So again, thank you, everyone. Really, really appreciate it. But let's get into some stuff, man. Let's get into the stuff. Theo, where you want to
I'm going to add on to that.
Yeah,
I'm going to add on to that real quick. Just by chance, if anybody's new to the music industry that's tuning in, when he referenced BMI, he is referencing his performing rights organization. I know people will say BMI. We're like, you talking about his body mass index? Like nah. We legitimately, it's funny, but you Google that joint, that's what's going to come up first. It's crazy how things crawl. But all jokes aside, if you are new to the music industry and you're tuning in, definitely check out BMI. It is a performing rights organization. It'll get you all the way together. If you need more in that conversation, definitely let us know.
Look how nerdy we are. This man just said body mass index. I kid you not, I didn't even think about that when it came to BMI. I totally forgot that was a thing. I tweeted this morning that I'm trying to get ready for the summer. So my diet, I'm turning into a caloric deficit so I can burn more calories and get my abs back because I'm getting older, so I got to get that back. And I was like, I totally forgot BMI was the thing.
Right. See, that's the fun thing about being in this communications degree program. Well, literally, I'm sitting here looking at Google and I'm searching stuff, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's right. BMI, as in body mass index, does have a higher search ranking than the actual performing rights organization. So every time they search this is by default what's going to come up if you don't put in broadcast media instead. It's crazy the way things work.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna let you have that one though. I'll let you have it. All right, man. Let's get to some shit. So where you want to start, man? Where you want to start? Where you want to go? How you feeling? Because you've been on. You've been kind of keeping me on my toes. I'm like, damn. Okay.
I think we might need to start off with this Mr. West, man, because that situation is crazy.
Yes. All right. So let me introduce this a little bit. Then we'll get into it. Look what just popped up. Google listens to everything. So you saw that. So all right. So if you've been living under a rock, I'm pretty sure you guys already know about this. But Kanye West just sold 10,000 of his stem players. If you don't know what a stem player is, basically it has all his music on this device for the album Donda 1 and 2. And basically, if you move one of these, I guess I don't even call them nods, but if you move one of these things over, you'll silence or raise the volume on one of the elements of the song, right? So this right here may be the vocals, this may be the sample or the music, this could be, you know, the drums, and then this could be something else, right? I'm just guessing.
Oh, bro, I was watching the video on it. It's crazy, bro. You like you said, you can silence, bring in, you can do loops, you can modulate. Like this little thing for $200, bro. I'm not gonna lie. If I decided I wanted to get into DJing and run Kanye records, I'd probably buy this. Like this thing definitely puts in work just on a support factor. Like they had my whole video on CNET. I mean, I was like, wow, impressive little joint right there.
It is. When I first saw it, I thought that was pretty dope that you can give someone a tangible device to interact with your music. And plus only that, see, here's the thing. So this says people have been working on this idea for a while. And what I mean by that is I'm not saying that Kanye is not the first person to come up with this idea. I think he is, but he may have gotten it from somewhere else. But the first time we've actually seen something like this was actually when artists was really into getting their own apps. Like I remember back at the fruit stand, I met this artist that was from Corpus Christi, and he had his own app, and I was like, that's dope. But at the time, he only had like 2,000, 3,000 followers on Instagram or whatever, and he had his own app where he would update people like, hey, yo, I'm performing here, yo, I'm gonna be at this, you know, this bar doing spoken word, this and the third. And I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. Because you're right there, like the notification is right there. So I think it's pretty dope. And I can see, you know, if he wanted to, like with good music artists, he could say, hey, we're going to put all their albums on the stem player and we're like really expand the range of what you can do. So it's I mean, it's though what he's doing is just, it's very groundbreaking.
True. I call it that Ryan Leslie effect, man. Everybody was on Ryan Leslie about that whole superphone situation. Like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Years later, they like, oh, that guy's a genius. It's like, yeah, man, it's not a game. When you understand your market and you understand how your fans want to operate,
yeah,
like we discussed conditioning prior, you can effectively make them move the way you want them to move. It's just a matter of knowing what you got to do to get there.
Yeah, Ryan Leslie. It's when you mention him, I thought about. So I don't know if you know. I didn't know there was no announcement about it, and I thought maybe I missed it. But did you know that there's an audiobook of Nipsey Hussle's life? I didn't know either. It came in an email. It came from an email from Rick Barker. Shout out to Rick Barker. But he was like, yo, I just checked out this audiobook. It's called The Life and Times of Nipsey Hussle. Let me actually pull this up real quick. And Times of Nipsey. Yeah. So it's called The Marathon Don't Stop. Fam, I didn't hear anything about this, and apparently it came out in 2020. Fam, I had no idea this was out. None. And like, I don't know if you guys can tell, I have this painting of Nipsey right here. I'm a big fan, and I had no idea. So whoever is marketing this book is doing a horrible job. I am a Nipsey fan. I have clothes. I have physical merchandise. How did you miss me? How did you miss me?
Man.
Like even my wife has like marathon clothes. Like how did you miss me? Like in your whatever. But anyway,
I'm a super fan.
Yeah, I'm a super fan. But I was listening to the audiobook, and they were talking about one portion when he met up with Ron Leslie, and they spoke about how they're both computer nerds and how they can learn code and everything else. So when he said that, it made me think about that, about how how Ryan has always looked at the game in a very futuristic sense. And that's the thing. Okay, this I'll make this rant short, because I know on here when we go on rants we can get a little long-winded. I'm going to keep it short. But I'm all about majors, and what I mean by that is I believe majors have their place. If you are an artist and you're trying to get signed to a major, I'm not one of those people that's going to knock you. Do your thing. The reason why is because if Warner came to me and said they had a check for room 380 and the deal was nice and the numbers were nice, I'm probably signing. Let me go ahead and go on record and say that. So if a year or two from now we do some sort of deal and it's like, I thought you was Mr. Independent, I just want to go on air and say, Hänz Nobi said if the check is right and the deal is right, I would sign with the major. Now we got that way. But if you think futuristically about what would serve you best as an artist, a producer, or just running a business in this industry, you start leaning toward indie because you start to see it's really more beneficial to do it yourself. Plus, only that, I mean, one day
That's tricky though, because that's just like the conversation we had last week with the Ghost folks. You know what I'm saying? Where we were dealing with the indie aspect and artists dealing with the burnout aspect of having to deal with not only music creation at such a fast rate, but then the social aspect of having to create content, having to manage content, having to market content. All those fall under that indie umbrella. So it's like you said, majors is great. They serve their purpose. You have to just position yourself and say, what type of artist are you and how do you make it make sense? Because effectively, you're going to be indie until you get a major deal because they want to see you 9 times out of 10 creating that buzz, creating that wave. Because what a lot of artists don't understand is they think they signed the deal and, oh, that's the takeoff. But there's documentaries everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That artists will say, no, it's not what you think. The deal is there. Things can happen. But this is what you potentially need to do to get there even after you're signed. It's like we have this misconception about how many switches all of a sudden get flipped when you sign that paperwork.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of artists that get shelved right out the gate after signing a contract. Don't even know what was about to happen. Saw they dream, and then all of a sudden, they dream became somebody else's reality.
Speaking of which, I'm turning my mic a little bit. Speaking of which, I'm jumping around, but this kind of this ties in.
Mr. Genius.
Yes. Okay. Let me get into this. Okay. I'm gonna give praise. I'm gonna give an observation, and then I'm going to give insight into that observation. Let me go on record and say, I think the documentary is dope. First of all, I don't have a way to do like a round of applause, but we really need to give a shout out to Cootie. The fact that this man caught the moment Kanye West and Pharrell Williams met.
Man.
Like, you caught something that was the beginning of what would change fashion, technology. I mean, you talking about if we're really being honest here about the way hip hop is viewed today and how it's accepted with the Drakes, the Coles, the Kendricks, right? You're talking about the two pillars because if you look at the Kanye West tree, you have the Drakes, right? You have the Coles and everything else, right? The producer, artist.
Got your Cuddies.
Your Cuddies, right? Even though Cuddy did influence Kanye, I'll get there one day. I'm sick of y'all right on my Facebook wall and Twitter talking about, I'm so sick of you saying Cuddy inspired Ye, fam.
All they gotta do is watch the documentary.
I have Cuddy's first mixtapes. Shut up.
I'm telling you, all they gotta do is go watch Cuddy's documentary. They'll hear it all themselves.
Shut up. I was there. I had Man on the Moon but for a lot of you, when you're still walking around, playing Nerf ball, I had Kid Cudi's mixtape. I know where that sound came from. Anyway, back to my point. But the thing that got me about this is Kanye West had multiple platinum records.
Mm-hmm.
He was considered one of the best beat makers and producers in the game. And Rockefeller still shelved him. That should tell you something. Like, I'm not knocking anyone. Like, look, listen, I get it. No one really knew where Kanye was gonna go. But just think about that. Forget the potential. Let's say all Kanye wanted to be was just a producer. He never wanted to rap, right? But let's say he comes up to Dame, say, hey, well, let's scratch that. Let's throw that out. Let's say he did want to rap, right? He goes up to Dame and say, hey, I want to put out a single as a rapper. Just a single. No album, just a single. Look how much he had to fight just to do that. Like, fam, like, dog, I gave y'all sound. And they still, again, Majors is dope. But you should start thinking just a little bit more by saying indie. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, and that's why I respect the way he did it, man, because it's like watching him chase the circumstances, finding opportunities from we going into MTV after hours. to the whole Def Poetry joint. I mean, even at that point, he already had a couple of records, you know what I'm saying, with most. You know what I'm saying? So you just like, oh, this is crazy, crazy. Then, like you said, with the Pharrell moment, Pharrell's like, I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't know. I thought it was just the
music.
music. And you're just like, that's crazy. And then you see the video through the wire. You see the concept of how they created that. And you just like, oh, okay. Wow.
We're not gonna make this a whole kind. I really gotta point something out because I'm a creative. So like the thing is about a creative. It's so dope to where you see like there's y'all have to go back and watch those 2 episodes. You're literally watching things line up. So let me point out a couple things. The first thing was when he went to the dentist's office to get the wire removed from his gums, right? And the doctor said, "Hey, you can't film. That's illegal." This, that, and the third. But like, no, like go and film. It's all cool. It's all good, right? By the way, I'm pretty sure that doctor sent a lawsuit. I'm pretty sure about Google. I'm pretty sure about Google lawsuits in the state of California around that time. I will find that dentist's name and find that lawsuit. But I'm not TMZ, nor do I care. But anyway, there's a moment in there where like Kanye says stuff. He goes, "Yo, would you put this in the music video? This should be the video. Me getting my wire taken out of my mouth." And I was just like he came up what would become like a classic video right there.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that I thought was really dope was he was trying to find a name for his album. This is the same episode. This is episode 2. Y'all gotta go back and watch this. He's sitting in the diner, right? And he's ordering like, yo, let me get the cheese fries with mashed potatoes, this, that, and the third, whatever, right? They're walking out, right? And so Cootie is like, yo, y'all say in school, don't be a college dropout like how Kanye was. And in their mind, he doesn't even know that fame just name what will become
was about to be
one of the biggest hip hop albums of all time. Mm-hmm. Just like it's crazy. It's moments like that where you really got to go back, like him meeting, like, you know, John Legend, like coming into the studio and catching a vibe, and like seeing Jamie Foxx.
Oh, that Jamie Foxx situation was crazy, bro. I had to go back and listen to slow jams. I'm like, wait, did he really have this long intro? Yo, oh my god!
No.
The radio played us.
No. Okay. Here's the thing. You've heard that greatness takes time, right? The moon and stars had to align for that one record. Let me explain why. Twista was in this. I remember this. Twista was in a situation where it looked like he was getting ready to sign with Rockefeller, and they were giving him a lot of looks. But I believe there was something going on with this deal where he just couldn't get out of it, so he became a Rockefeller affiliate. Reason why I remember this is because this is right around the time Mos Def, Twista, and Mariah Carey were considered Rockefeller affiliates. I remember this because when me and my boy Steve and Monty in Detroit, Michigan at the time went to a record store, I think it was Sam Good at FYE. We they used to sell. Do you remember like the folders they used to sell with like the graphics on the front? All you can do is put papers, had the 3 holes in the side or whatever. I'm showing my age. I know y'all watching this. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? They stopped existing.
It's in the FYE store.
They stopped existing before y'all were even in middle school. Don't worry about it. But anyway, so I had one. I remember.
I'm learning how to choose the right audio apps for you. Which one do you want to use to listen to this?
Wow.
Hello, Siri.
Oh, anyway, Siri just doing too much. So anyway, I remember seeing Mariah Carey on that folder, as well as Mos Def and Twista. I was like, oh, they're affiliates, they're not really signed. But here's the thing, right? So that brings Twista in because Twista needs a record. Okay, cool. Kanye Arts a sample. Okay, cool. Jamie Foxx. Theo, let me ask you something. When you saw that Jamie Foxx segment, was there anything particular that stood out to you?
You mean outside of Jamie's hair at the time?
Yeah. Because I know what movie he was filming at the time. He was filming the movie that would come out with Gabrielle Union, where they were both weirdos and wind up hooking up later.
Oh.
I got it for you. Don't worry about it. I got it. Let me paint the picture. In the documentary, there's a poster of Ray Charles. Jamie Foxx is filming for Ray.
That's wow.
So that cadence that he's talking, man, I really don't, ladies say they can't stand, That's like Ray Charles. It took Jamie Foxx to get that role, start filming, Twisted needing a look, working on Rockefeller, and Kanye was making that beat. It took all of that to line for that one record. And it's just
That's
like,
crazy.
that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it really just the moon and stars just aligning for a moment. And there's a part in there, and I get off this. There's a part in there where Pharrell's like, and artists, take heed to this because this is very true. This is why like you have voice memos and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. There's a part in there where Pharrell's like, yo, Kanye, whenever you feel like you need to get something off your chest or you need to create something, do it right then and there. Don't wait, do it right there. And he said, most people wait and then they lose it. He said, if you can keep the distance between the idea and executing the idea clear, you'll be ill for the rest of your life. Do y'all realize Kanye's still doing that to this day? Y'all have to go back. Y'all have to go back and watch episode number 2. There's so much stuff that explain what's happening now. This is why history is so important. There's so much stuff right there. We're watching Kanye being conditioned into becoming Ye.
Right.
All right, I'm done. I don't want to keep talking about it, but like it gave me goosebumps just to see that. Like, wow. Like, anyway.
I'm not even gonna lie. Speaking of you, I see these boots. I'm just waiting to see that take over the market. I'm just waiting. He killing him with the stem player. I'm like, all right, he already got Khaled. How much longer? How much longer before he changes the market?
Please
he said he's gonna keep wearing them.
Yeah, please don't come around me with those boots. Please don't do that.
I mean, I'm telling you, if you saw that, if you was it not the City Guys, you see him in the new Pusha T joint. You know what I'm saying? He's in the new Pusha T joint dancing with him on. So I'm like, he ain't playing. Actually, he might be in City of Guys with him on. I got to double check that.
He probably
is. City of Guys. If you still haven't heard that record, if anybody hasn't heard that City of Guys record, you need to check that out. That thing is crazy.
That's the one with Fabio, right?
Yeah, that's his record with what you got with Kanye and Alicia Keys. I'm telling you, as soon as I listened to it, I instantly had to go back and listen to Jimmy. I had to go listen to that NYC Jimmy, bro. I was like, oh, I said again, if I was a DJ, I got 2 back-to-back records I'm running early. Like these both is crazy.
Check it out. All right, let's get back to the sim player. Sorry, it just is dope to see another creator. So yeah, man. I think what artists can take from this, man, is again the players merchandise. Like I said, for us, for Room 380, we can ready to come out with hoodies and shirts and everything else because people really love the logo. And my hoodie was almost stolen a couple times from a few young ladies. I won't say their names, but I got my stuff back, so I got this one here as well. I'm pretty sure this is gonna come up missing, but there's a demand for it because you use the music to promote the show and the stuff, and if you know how to do that, you can make some good coin, as some of y'all like to say, especially out in Brooklyn. Some good coin there. I mean, this is pretty straightforward, man. But is there? Well, do you want to get into the whole as he rejected the $100 million deal? That's a part that people seem to be sleeping on for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's a wild situation, but I mean, the trick in this is sustainability. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like Kanye's early to the marketplace with this. So even though he got rid of the deal with Apple, you know what I'm saying, he's still going to be all right. I mean, because they're saying he already sold $10,200. That's $2 million right there. They give him a $100 million deal. It's just a matter, it's just a matter of saying, okay, how long is it going to take for him to hit that marketplace? How many moves is he going to have to make from a super fan standpoint to get it out there? Will he even hit that number? You know what I'm saying? Again, it's a matter of that fan concept.
Question. So let me ask you this question then, Theo. I see this number $100 million deal. Is that all to him? So the reason why I'm asking is because I'm like, you rejected $100 million for $2 million. There has to be some sort of profit in there that he sees that go, it's better for me to go this way than to take this $100 million deal.
Right. And that's always the question. We can't officially answer in the sense of saying, yes, that's all his, because we don't know what the circumstances of that deal is. It could be a matter of saying, hey, we're going to offer you $100 million, but it breaks down this many ways. Because at the same time, like you said, from a streaming aspect, hey, we're only getting 11 to 12%, you know what I'm saying, on that stream aspect. So if you go down further in the article, they were breaking it down based on the aspect of what Apple was offering him and saying from a streaming aspect, looking at that number and what he's doing with the stem player, they're saying to get that number, what Apple's talking about, you would basically have to be streamed over, I think they said 11 billion times. You know what I'm saying? Just to hit that raw number that Apple was giving. I'm like, that's nuts.
Fam,
when you think about it
11,
circumstantially.
11 billion? Are you serious? You talking about more people
Scroll
on the
down.
planet? Let me see.
Yeah, man, they get. But the thing about that, I mean, it just comes down to people repetitively streaming because they don't necessarily, quote unquote, argue against it. If somebody streams the song 500 times, you're already in a win. That's one person. You just need that same behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's why they keep doing this whole playlist conversation, because they're trying to get people to basically run the playlist. They run the playlist, you're guaranteed to get the streams. But the inflation argument to that situation is if your record isn't on the playlist and they did not become a fan of your music during that time, well, your numbers are going to, as they say, deflate. So it's a hit or miss pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm noticing some major artists do some indie things or what would be considered indie things. Like in regards to this, you know, I didn't really want to dive into this the whole Snoop Dogg NFT thing because I'm like Tyler the Creator, I still can't wrap my head around it. Shout out to Arts, who went to Denver ETH, whatever I can't even pronounce it, but he was down there champion NFTs, and he has a lot of NFT conversations in Twitter Spaces. The cleaner version of ClubHouse apparently, and
wait a minute, how does Twitter get to say they cleaner than ClubHouse? We know Twitter got that dark side.
Fam, I don't know what's on your timeline, but for my timeline, Twitter Spaces are pretty clean. I mean, you have a couple like knuckleheads here and there, but like ClubHouse, fam, if I go in, it's like it'll say NFT space beneficial for music producers that come in, you know, whatever, and then next I know here is, yo, that she was my hoe before she was yours, nigga. You got me. It's like,
wait a minute, wrong conversation. Hold on now, I did not expect.
So, and it's like, fam, like
oh, that's crazy.
Like I can't, like I was on one, so I was walking home from a very, 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 very late session. It's like they come at like 6-7 o'clock in the morning, and I joined one where they were talking about black women in the space of the music industry, and I was like, okay, cool, dope. And Joe Budden came in, and when I tell you that conversation literally went from, by the time, so I got off, so I caught the bus from Rockefeller Center all the way up to the Bronx, and when I tell you that literally from the time I got off the bus, which is in front of a grocery store, to the time I got to my house, which was maybe 10 minutes, a 10-minute walk, the conversation went from, you know, shout out to Ethiopia for getting that deal. Who did she work with again? Not Warner. Not is it Warner? Hold on, y'all. My fault.
Hit that Google on that one.
Ethiopia music exec. Who you work for again? Motown. Shout out to Ethiopia for getting her deal with Motown Records, this, that, and the third, right? Within 10 minutes, it went from that to, ladies, if a guy couldn't eat your ass the right way, are you calling him back? I'm like, how did this happen, bro? How did this happen?
I'm not gonna lie. That is truly as random as hip hop can be, because you could literally go from, yo, I just heard this new Kanye record that's X, Y, and Z. The next thing you know, you just heard this. Hey, wait, is that a Soulja Boy record or some random thing that just came through the airways? It's wild like that sometimes.
But I'm like, bro, how is it possible you turn the conversation that quick? It was 10 minutes. We were big enough
segues.
Black women in the industry. It went from that to.
Anyway. You remember how rappers used to freestyle, and they'll maybe, let's say somebody in the audience will throw a word at you, and you have to put that word in. That's exactly how it is. That's the exact same thing. Word association and conversation. All of a sudden, oh man, matter of fact, I was just talking about Shorty yesterday. Yo, if a dude eat your da-da-da, it's crazy like that.
Bro, hey, listen. I'm on Twitter Spaces. I've given up on ClubHouse. Y'all, cause a couple of y'all keep pinging me, join it. No. And oh my God. See, this is, RANT. I'm gonna put time code for RANT. So like if y'all see it's like, hey, just skip the RANT.
Oh man.
I mean this, and I've been meaning to say this on this podcast for a while, and I'm challenging you to do the same thing as well. But I have to get my brand up. Like I really do. The reason why I say that is because before the Great Migration of ClubHouse, which is basically what November 2020
Hold on,
is
did
when
you just say Great Migration?
yes.
Oh wow.
That is that. If you ask anyone that was on ClubHouse before November 2020, they would tell you it was the great outdoors in the Great West, right? It was everyone who was there
Send
was
them
legit.
invites.
Everyone in there was vetted. You could get real time. Stop, Siri. You could get real time information like that. It was great. It was fantastic.
True story. True story.
Unfortunately,
Now,
I came in right when y'all opened up the floodgates. Thank you for the invite, but to hell with you because that tells me what you think of me. I'm not like these people. Okay, I have a real A&R job. I have a real. I had a real offer letter. I am really on payroll. Damn it! What the hell is this? And y'all invited me with them.
I give you an apology on that one myself because I had to invite joints back then, and I didn't even think about who all I was flipping them joints to. I was just getting in the conversation, seeing what's going on.
Boys was on Instagram selling invites.
Yeah. Oh, that got real. I'm not even front though. I jumped off Clubhouse. I remember the last time I was in a Clubhouse conversation, and I say this loosely because I don't want to put myself in a situation, but they had how you said the creator of DistroKid.
Yo,
when I say
oh my
that
God,
was the last time I was in a Clubhouse conversation, I said I'm done. I said they out here trying to do people disgusting.
Yo,
I'm through.
Okay. We were supposed to talk about this. You know what? Fuck it. Like this is our platform. Apparently, y'all really like the information. Let me stop trying to contain this. Apparently, y'all really like the information. I just want y'all to put that in the comments. Like, thanks for the DMs. I'm going to start screenshotting that stuff because I put the stuff in the comments. All right. Whew. That situation with old buddy from DistroKid, that was horrifying to watch that. They went in on that dude so hard. I didn't even know he had a like a nervous tick or whatever.
Yeah.
And they made fun of him. And he's like, I'm just trying to help. And he was right. It was like, fam, this is my platform. I own the ISRCs. That's what you're paying me for. And we're not gonna say who, because I guess she was, I don't know if she was just misguided or she was trying to, I definitely didn't like the way her and her colleagues handled that situation. But like just to see them go in on him and just like you hear him having a breakdown. So they started a new channel. So Just Blaze invited him to a new channel. It was Just Blaze, this TV supervisor that I connected with, and a couple other people, and Julia Pratt of Apple Music, who just left. And they were just like, that is the most disgusting thing I've ever, and I was with them 100%. And the thing was, she was making some good points, but it's the way you handle it. You talk to that dude like he was your stepchild that stole something, and he's like, I'm just trying to help. There's no need for you to go in. Like, I didn't like that at all. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I mean, because the reality of the situation, there, like you said, to a certain extent, there was some valid points, and then at the same time, he had a lot of valid points.
Yeah, 100%.
From I said, and the way he explained how he built the platform, as he expressed it, he said it was for music artists, but he himself wasn't from the music space. He was from a tech space. So he was trying to create something that was beneficial to everyone else, to help them to grow. And that's dope, you know what I'm saying, coming from that energy. I can understand what they were coming from with regards to rights, ownership, and certain aspects from a metadata space. But like you said, the way they approached that situation was just beyond.
Here's the thing, and we said this multiple times. I'll take something Gary Vaynerchuk said himself, since y'all love Gary V. It's not your platform. You don't own it. You don't own Spotify. You don't own Tidal, Apple Music, DistroKid Tune. You don't own these. You're borrowing. You're using someone else's solution to a problem. You can't go out there and you can't. And so, no, you don't own those ISRCs. But that's what you signed up for. It's in the disclosure. Sorry you didn't read it. And fam, my DMs were flooded with people. Yo, what's the ISRC and and I explain people.
That conversation was crazy.
Yo, that's how I know. Say, okay, I'm off with ClubHouse because you scared the artists and people that I know personally to like, yo, am I doing this right? Like, yes, bro, it's fine. It's okay. You want to get your own ISRC, you can, but like, this is ridiculous.
You know the funny part about that? I tell people either way. You can either if you're a label, I can understand you want to own the ISRC code from a registering purpose. If you're an individual artist, I can understand you saying, I'm just going to go with what they provide. But it's like, either way, the biggest part of that conversation is when you deal with a takedown. Because you'll have artists who will deal with these distributors and they'll be like, I don't like my distributor anymore. I want to pull my music and I want to re-upload it somewhere else. It's like, all right, cool, do that. That's your business. That's your right. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they'll miss the aspect of, hey, you do need to make sure you pull that information, that ISRC code, that UPC code, all of that metadata associated. If that stuff's not embedded in the file itself, you definitely want to make sure you're writing that stuff down, because when you resubmit it through a different system, it's going to ask you, does it have an existing code? I'm like, your Spotify, everything's associated to that information. That's how it's pulling your data and submitting. When people are like, oh, well, I'm trying to get on Billboard, they're sending all that sales data over. All of that is recorded information. You basically re-upload it with a new one. Say bye-bye to your previous sales data. It's in the space, but you don't know how to access it.
If you have any music over 10,000 streams and you don't know how to pull the ISRC data, let me give you some advice. Google it or don't. That's it. Either Google how to do it or don't switch over. Pay if like I know people want to go to TuneCore because it's cheaper. Fam, just don't pull the information. Like just take the hit.
Who said TuneCore is cheaper?
No. People want to leave TuneCore because DistroKid is cheaper. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm about to say, don't get me wrong. I'm about to say it ain't cheaper, but it's definitely beneficial. They definitely do they thing.
Yeah, I'm actually talking to a rap group from Houston. They're trying to decide where, because I'm working on a record with them and they're trying to decide where they want to upload it, and I had to break down the difference between the two. But anyway, so are we done with this? Are we done with the whole Kanye West? He's killing the game right now.
Most def.
All right. This one's for the producers, because I keep saying I'm not going to make content for the producers, but here I am, damn it. They keep trying to pull me in. Producer, one day I'm going to do a segment on producer Twitter. I hate y'all. I really do. Like, I really can't stand y'all. I mean, yeah, I hate y'all. But there's some I like, but mostly I hate y'all. Like, y'all, you guys are weird. You guys are worse than the graphic designers.
Not the W word.
Yeah, you guys are the absolute worst. You know nothing, you do nothing, you contribute nothing, and I can't stand either one of you. And if I could, I would drop you off at the bottom of the ocean. You freaking fliptards. Anyway, so here's some content for the producer community. United Masters is now introducing a new program called Beat Exchange. So what is Beat Exchange? So just like it says, there's a new market to buy and sell beats. So basically, if you're an artist signed up to United Masters, you can actually purchase a beat, and they have different licenses. So here, this gentleman here, or a person here, so I don't want to call it gentleman because they're female producers, and one day I'll go into how you guys are weird to female producers. Again, I loathe you people, but anyway, here we are. So let's say I really like this song, right? So there's different licenses, right? So it gives you all the information, much like BeatStars and everything else, but there's a catch. So for the non-exclusive license, right, it's for a limited time, which is totally fine because it's a non-exclusive license, right? It means, hey, I'm just doing it just to get something done, whatever, cool.
Right.
However, there is a problem that we saw, because again, we cite the source, right? We don't just be saying shit to be saying shit. So there is a problem here. If you buy the exclusive version of this beat. Let's see if I can. No, this is not what I'm looking for. Where's the one? Hold on, because I want to show it. License list. Okay, so yeah. So let's say, for instance, okay, no, this isn't the exclusive one, right? So we need one where he has an exclusive license, correct?
Yeah. Oh, there's no perpetuity. Yeah, no perpetual license. That's crazy.
Yeah. So we did some research on it, and if you look at this contract here, there's no perpetuity. Now, I know you guys have heard that before, that word, but let me just break this down very simple. If I buy this beat, right, and I put it on United Masters, it gets distributed. That license only lasts for 2 years. Now, if you're on BeatStars or Airbit, you know if someone buys a license from you, you don't have to chase them down. Yeah, some of our licenses, if you get 400,000 streams or whatever, 40,000, you have to stop using it, but you're not going to chase them down, right? Like once they got the license, like we're done.
That's it.
However, if you're doing this through United Masters with this license, that means that artist who gets his license, puts the beat, uploads and everything else. First of all, okay, we'll break this down. What happens if on, let's say, 1 year and 11 months and 10 days in, the record starts blowing up? What happens with this?
See, and that's the thing. From the contracts that I've seen, I can't speak for everything that's listed, but for the ones that I have went through, I have not seen anything with regards to a takedown clause,
okay,
or some form of a functional standpoint as, like you said, a what if, or what happens. I mean, presumably we could only say, hey, they can renegotiate if this is still listed as a non-exclusive. Now, the trick for me becomes, if it's an exclusive license, you pay the money and the term ends. A, are you in a situation where you can relicense it? B, could someone in that sense effectively get the license? So you're basically out of pocket in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And if so, what does that even look like if that record blows up? You know what I'm saying? Are you at a bidding war type situation? Like, from what I've seen, there hasn't been anything that extensively says what the producer has to do or what the artist has to do with regards to when that contract ends, from the ones that I've seen.
And so I'm reading this here while you were talking. Fam, no warrant or term. Terms I exclude. See credits. Okay, here we go. In the event the party fails to perform its obligations, otherwise breaches the terms, such party shall have 10 days from receipt, written notice from non-breaching, 10-day period, licensee.
Yeah, see, even in that case, that's not even reference to contract end. That's breach of contract.
Right. Which is, I mean, again, I get it. It's dope. You're protecting the producer. But if you're on, okay. So for artists that are not aware, that are watching this, but the producers already figured this out. Like, okay, yeah, this is not going to work. Because on BeatStars, for us, if you buy a non-exclusive license, yeah, and in my agreement, if you hit 40,000 streams, you're supposed to be done. But I'm not coming after you. If you do it through United Masters, they have all the information to say, so if you do hit the 40,000 streams on their platform, I mean through the DSPs or whatever, then they can take it down, which puts the artist at presumably puts the artist at a disadvantage, because for you guys watching, we're still promoting For Me that we released in April of last year, right? It'll be a year that we're promoting it, but sometimes it takes time for that music to grow. So if Spizzy was in that sort of term with me, let's say it was just a year, that means next month that record's getting taken down. Cool for me as a producer, because now I can resell the license, but this doesn't sound like it's setting people up for success.
Yeah, I'll be all the way honest with you. I love United Masters as a platform with regards to what they're doing from a mobile space. But just me looking at this contract, I would say this system that they're doing is dope in the sense that, like you said, for someone who's coming in the situation, a new artist who needs beats and doesn't have a high end budget and wants to get content out quickly,
Yeah.
this is beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Especially kind of like the Lil Nas X situation where he was working with the producer. And they're like, look, I need X, Y, and Z. We just gonna work this together. And then boom, it blows up. Now the artist and the producer gets put on by the label. So circumstantially, this definitely has some merit and benefits to its base, to their user base. But that one little situation from a legal standpoint of not saying publicly, hey, this is what the producer or the artist needs to do when this contract ends, you know what I'm saying, on every one of those contracts, regardless of what it is, throws me for a loop, because I'm like, me just looking at this publicly, you don't have to sign in. You literally can just look at the beat, pull up the contract, read everything that's available. So me just from a public standpoint.
Wait. You telling me? No, I have to sign in.
Yeah, no, when I looked at it, I didn't have to sign in to look at the stuff. To access it and do the contract,
okay,
of
gotcha.
course.
Yeah.
Right, but to publicly just read what's going on, hear the beat, it's no different than BeatStars in that instance. You know what I'm saying? But it's like when I read that contract, not knowing what that, hey, this is what happens after the fact from a public standpoint, kind of pushes me away, because I'm like, well, wait a minute. It sounds good for that term, but then I start to get nervous when that term comes near, because 9 times out of 10 as an artist, you're not going to think about the fact that, all right, it's 2 years later and I hit 50,000 instead of 40,000. What's going to happen next?
Right.
You're thinking, I hit 50,000 streams. What's my next milestone?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of a sudden somebody hitting you an email saying that this got to come down, and you don't even remember having that conversation initially. Like, that would throw you into a bad space mentally. You're like, well, wait a minute. I wish somebody would have told me this is what was going to happen at the moment I signed the contract, because then I would have had a better decision-making process. I would have been able to say effectively, is this a space that I want to proceed with this particular feature, or do I want to go a different route and use everything else?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I know on like the MEC podcast with Dame Ritter and DJ Pain 1, I know that they were talking about. No, I'm sorry. It was DJ Pain 1 and Othello Beats and one of the lawyers on the Producer Grind podcast. They were talking about how sometimes, like, let's say for instance, like on BeatStars, you sell 9 different non-exclusive licenses, but then the 10th person comes to buy an exclusive license. So what happens to the other 9 people? And that's what happened to, I think, Othello Beats, where someone bought an exclusive license and that artist uploaded their stuff and everyone else's stuff got taken down because of the content ID and whatever else. And so it puts everyone in a bad predicament, because now all the artists are looking at you like, yeah, yo, fam, I thought. And it's like, fam, that's not the agreement. But also at the same time, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth. And so I know the whole business model is to incentivize artists to get the high end right, to pay the $500,000, $2,500 for the exclusive rights to the beat, which I get. But what it does is that because you've opened that door, you put the artist at a disadvantage, and it makes the producer look bad. It's because the producer can't change that business model. That's why, like, for me, yeah, I do have a BeatStars page, and I'll upload stuff, and it's like, here, take it. But I've wrestled around with the idea of just not having an exclusive license, because I don't want that to happen to someone. Because, like, what if artist 10 uploads it while artist 3 who bought it, like, the song is taken off, and then because artist 10 bought the exclusive license and it gets taken down, now everyone's at a disadvantage. It doesn't help anybody, if that makes sense.
Right. I mean, but if we be honest, between the producer to the artist standpoint, the only reason we have a non-exclusive license is two reasons on average. A, the artist that they're dealing with does not have a budget to effectively pay what they want to charge or what they believe the beat is worth from an exclusive standpoint. And in that same situation, them not being able to sell the exclusive, they say, well, I can make a lot more money selling the non-exclusive.
Right.
But like you said, it's a licensing nightmare when someone says, oh, this record is blowing up, because it creates too many legal situations with regards to what can happen next. You talking about trying to get a synchronization deal, and they're like, yeah, well, here's the record, but here's also 50 other records with people saying that they own a X, Y, and Z with regards to this. Oh, yeah, here's my SR. Well, who actually owns the PA? Who has the composition? Where's the producer? You know what I'm saying? That creates a lot of conversation. And then on top of it, the other situation that I didn't see, and this may depend on the contract and how they have it positioned, was sampling. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you'll have beats there with some people who have sampled, but it's like, are they saying in that contract, hey, we have cleared this sample? Like, is the producer saying this to you? Is that listed? Is United Masters in this contract saying, hey, it's a responsibility, et cetera, basically removing themselves from the situation? Kind of like how YouTube did for years with legal situations, saying, hey, it's just a platform.
Right.
The users choose to upload what they want, but it's not our fault. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that creates a whole other different circumstance of who owns the composition.
Yeah, but
because
YouTube got
record's not cleared.
Yeah, but YouTube got in trouble with that because.
Oh yeah.
So the reason why you even have a content ID was that YouTube, they were like, oh, that's not us. It's like, yeah, but you're paying the creator. So that's when YouTube now is like, okay, cool. Well, if you have something that has this ID or whatever, this content ID, we'll tag it and say we're not going to pay you for that. However, if I take Sade's entire catalog, or let's say I take Juice WRLD's entire catalog and upload it and say, yo, yeah, copy license this, that, and the third, and get all these views up, right, and hit 1,000, and then I upload one piece of content as mine, driving on traffic to there, I'm still monetizing that content. It's a loss leader, but I still monetize the content. So like it's like giving out free mixtapes for like 3 years, and then you dropped an album. Like, yeah, you can, yeah, YouTube, sure, tag all this, but you're still giving the creative. I'm still benefiting from someone else's content, if that makes sense.
Right. No, most definitely. It's like you created this new, and that's what people got to understand. It's not a remix. You created a derivative work. You know what I'm saying? People got to understand those differences. When you deal with the legal aspect, or when you deal with the business, people misunderstand what is a karaoke version of a record. You know what I'm saying? Versus what a derivative work is, versus what they call a remix in that instance. And it's like, right. And that's one of the issues why we have circumstances, right? You see mixtape culture died off. You know what I'm saying? It still exists, but it became an extreme niche. You know what I'm saying? Because you dealt with so many licensing issues. That's why you never really saw other brands do it. When you talk about genres like country, pop, never really became a thing, because out the gate, they're like, wait a minute, whose beat am I dealing with? Whose production? Who owns this? Who am I paying? Who has to authenticate this? Rap, it was a whole different culture. So now when you're dealing with, oh yeah, I'm going to jump on here and I'm going to take the beat, I'm going to do my freestyle to show my version of it, for the exposure to say, maybe this person sees me and they want to pick me up. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but you're right. They got to get paid. So that content ID makes all the difference. You get the exposure, but you getting the exposure means that person gets paid. So it's a winning situation for them as well as it is for you, which is what it should be, mutually beneficial. Can't be out here trying to hustle out somebody else's pockets anymore.
Exactly. That's why Dat Piff will always stay around, but Dat Piff won't live up to what we all wanted it to be. Is because people found out, before So Far Gone, even So Far Gone did it, it's artists doing cover songs or whatever, basically using beats from other popular records for their mixtape and doing their remixes. How Dat Piff got around that was, well, we'll drive all the traffic to this website and sell the advertising, which is fine. However, how they almost got in trouble was, hey, people can pay for advertising on your site to be at the front page, but all the music has to be original.
Right.
And so it was like, but yeah, this is going to be this to me. The only thing this is opening up is for me is it's telling, it just put a magnifying glass on the problem that producers are dealing with in regards to licensing beats. This is why I focus solely on working with artists exclusively and handling the business that way, because yeah, does it take longer, but the payout is much bigger. So yeah, you may have sold more licenses on your B-Sards page, but how I make it for it is every quarter I'm getting bigger checks.
And see, but that's the other problem. That's the beauty about it. You're in a position to make that make sense. A lot of these producers who are not in that position, dealing with a lot of these, as we all want to be called, indie, with respect. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these indie artists who don't necessarily have the numbers to support the royalty aspect on the back end, let alone know how to register everything properly. So we can actually say, hey, such and such, who is the composition owner, is actually getting paid. Because it's like, you mess around, go to your PRO. It's like, are you actually saying this producer is actually the composition owner? They are the writer of this music.
Right.
You talk to the average artist, they don't understand when you say, hey, legally speaking, these systems are not going to quote unquote call them a producer. They're going to say these are the composition owners. Right. You know what I'm saying? In other instances, they would be identified as composers in the sense that they created this musical work that definitively could have a score. You know what I'm saying? It's like, people got to understand from the music aspect, because it's funny because it goes back to that conversation we had a couple episodes ago where people were about, well, why I got to pay the producer all this stuff? All they did was make the beat. It's like the producer is literally you as in the same position, but as you write the lyrics to the song, they are literally writing the musical notes, the notation of what you are rapping over. So they are also composition owners, writers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to really get that situation aligned if we want to make these things like non-exclusive license go away. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like you said, it's beneficial on the front end. Yeah, you sell a lot of license, you can make some money potentially. That's true enough. But at the same time, your concern is anything going to come through on the back end? If it doesn't come on the back end, at least I got my upfront. But if it does come on the back end, like you said, you screw a lot of other people over when they say, yo, I need this exclusively, and everybody else get choked out.
Yeah, it's that kind of reminds me of the conversation we had offline. Damn, that was 2 years ago. No, but we had a conversation about when DJ Khaled went off and said that he's a producer and most people are beat makers, and we had this conversation where I said, "Yeah, Theo, I'm no longer a beat maker, I'm a producer." And you was just like, well, we'll get into that one day. But there really is a difference between a beat maker and a producer, or rather, I guess I can say, in my opinion, even though definitively there is, because at the same time, like, a lot of people don't know, like most artists are producers, they just don't know it. It's like, you picked the beat, you wrote the hook, you made the record, you're the producer. It's just that the guy that made the beat can be labeled as the co-producer, but we'll go down that rabbit hole another time.
I'll give that a 20-second trick. The reason why that failed is because when you transition from 50s to, I'd say 50s to the early 2000s, when you started looking at technology changed the conversation just like it did for everything else. Instead of you having to be the person who's literally in the studio saying, no, don't do that, do this, sing it this way. Now you can just be the person behind the board instead of playing an instrument, just hitting that drum pad. You know what I'm saying? Instead of you being like, but listen, but even in that instance, when you transition from that to Fruity Loops and you say, okay, just like an artist says, all I want to do is be an artist, you have a person that says, all I want to do is make beats. So when you ran into that conversation, it definitively split, but people on an indie level really didn't pay attention to that conversation of saying, oh, wait, there is a producer and a beat maker. The industry already knew what it was. The industry conditioned us to know what it was. We conditioned that conversation of saying this is what a producer does. The concept of a beat maker as a standalone really came into the conversation for indie when we started getting access to things like Fruity Loops and basically saying, I'm in my home studio making these beats and sending these beats off. No, I'm not in the studio with these artists telling them this is what we need to do. I'm just sending off beats. You know what I'm saying? It's like at that point, you can't claim to be something you're not, in the sense that you're not actually building the record with them. Now, you could say you're a producer in the sense that, hey, I sent them all this information and notation of what the record should sound like. Yes. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, and I'm gonna wrap this up because I did say 20 seconds.
No, that's okay.
If you really,
you're going off right now.
If you really want to hit that role and really claim that title, you really need to be in them booths, in them streets, not just making the beat. You got to really be in the thicket, helping create that sound that's going to live over the music you established, because that's when you become that producer as opposed to just a credited beat maker. And don't get me wrong, there's no slight at either side. I don't want people to hear this and think, oh, he's just talking about it like beat makers is trash. No, you are the rhythm. You are the heartbeat of that record when you are a beat maker. You just become the soul so much more, 50% of it, one would say, when you become the producer and the beat maker along with that person who's writing the music. You complete that conversation.
And that's what I'm doing.
Bingo.
I'm out here. Damn it. All right. So yeah, we done with? I'm gonna keep my eye on this because this is gonna be interesting. But we won't
Most
know
definitely.
until 18 months in, and then someone's gonna be like, "Hey, they took my stuff down," because I have a feeling that's what we're gonna see.
Well, if anybody get that 3 month license, because they did have an exclusive on there for one artist under Drake Beats who had a 3 month license, we may know sooner than 18.
Wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. Wait. Say that one more time. There's a what?
Yeah, there was one I saw. I believe it was under Drake Beats. You know what I'm saying? It was
No, fam.
$500. It was an
No,
exclusive, and it was
no,
like for 3 months.
no. We're not. We're
I saw
not.
that and I was tripping.
Please show me where there's a Drake beat for 500. Please don't do that.
Yeah, Drake type beat. I'm gonna see if I took a picture of the. I feel like I might have
I
took a
gotta see
picture of it
that.
and sent
Is
it.
this it right here? How it is? Three. Oh,
500. Yep, there go one right there. I'm not even sure if that's a non-exclusive. Let me see. Let me scroll
still,
through.
even then, that's crazy. What you mean 3 month license? What does that even mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, that situation is just crazy. Like, what are you gonna do with 3 months? That's the honest question. What are you about to do? That's about to blow up your record on that $500 you spent for 3 months. You must have the machine of machines behind you. Because I'm like, even on a label standpoint, they'll tell you, man, you're gonna mess around. If you want to just break radio aspects, you're gonna have what $175,000 budget. And even with radio, you're talking about repetition. They say the study is you'll hear a record 7 times before you really want to get actionable about it on an average. So you're talking about hearing that record on and off out of a week at least 3 to 7 times a day. You know what I'm saying? And people doing this as a behavior between radio, whether it be regular or Sirius XM, a streaming platform. Hopefully they see ads on YouTube, or let's say your video's trending, whatever. I mean, but you're going to have to put in some serious groundwork if you come in from zero and buying that record for 500.
What is this? Some
A marketplace fee?
All right, I'm done. We can move on. I'm not about. Shout out to Steve Stout. I'm not about to fool with y'all today. What the hell is a marketplace fee? Are you Epic
That's
Games?
a transaction fee.
Epic Games buys music service BandCamp. I'm not about to play with y'all, man.
Everybody got to get their money.
Marketplace. Anywho, so this is dope. So as you guys know, I have a BandCamp as well. I will upload Drive-Fi. I will do that. And shout out to BandCamp. BandCamp was one of the first distribution services I used as an artist. I guess I still am an artist since I put out my own records, right? But I thought this was pretty dope. And so Epic Games buys music service BandCamp. BandCamp says that Epic Games is champion of fair and open up to the internet, right? So BandCamp is where you can actually buy merchandise. You can also buy music from different artists. So let's see. I think Parks Music. Let's do Felita Hicks. Let me get some royalties. Dang it. There we go. Buy our stuff, so I can pay for these high ass groceries with this high ass inflation. Anyway, but you can buy digital albums. You can buy all the albums together. You can buy merchandise and whatever else. All right, acting weird.
Hey, shout out to BandCamp for being ahead of its time.
Yeah, man. Like, so with this deal with Epic Games, it opened up a lot of questions for me, right? So I'm going to ask these questions. I don't expect any answers, but I have a lot of questions. All right. So let's dive into this one by one, and then you'll see where my train of thought, where I was like, all right. Okay. Okay. Let's see. The music company BandCamp, an online music store and community, announced that it has been acquired by Fortnite creator Epic Games. The music company also confirmed that initiatives such as BandCamp Fridays, where the platform weighs its revenue, share artists. Okay, that's cool, that's fine, whatever, right? Here's where things get interesting. BandCamp says that joining Epic Games will allow it to expand internationally and push forward development across the platform, including working on mobile apps, merch tools, as well as search and discovery features. Okay, let's put a pause right here. Let me tell you where my brain went. Have you ever heard of this realtor, Theo, named Hänz? Okay, let me pull him up. Let's see, hold on. $1 million listing. Let me pull this guy up. There we go. Okay, so let me pause some music. Whatever. All right. So this guy, once it comes up, hold on. Whatever. Come on. Enough with ads. All right. So this guy right here, he's a realtor. He has a big real estate company, but he shows these $1 million houses, and he syndicates deals for like these, $170 million, $200 million housing and everything else, right? Really cool channel. You ever get a chance, you want to manifest where you want to be in the future, this is the YouTube channel, right?
That's dope.
So get this. So the guy's name, so let me copy this guy's name. Let me show you something real quick. Hold on. Where is it? Let's do this. There we go. Afrojack. There we go. So let me pull this up real quick. So this realtor got with my man's Afrojack, and they just started a record label.
Oh, wow.
He goes into it right here. Pause real quick. Artists, you have been conditioned and you have been told there is no money in the music business. That it's all out. And I know my arms are out of frame and I have a bad habit of doing this. I'm going to keep doing it because it's comfortable. It's all out. And that the only way you can make money is with the merchandise and touring. Right? And that's it. They keep you in this low box. Let me tell you something. This guy deals with big money. Do you see the size of these houses? Look at the price. Actually, forget the size. Look at the price. 25 million, 2.7 million, 295 million. You see this, right, Theo?
Oh yeah.
He's touring. It's 295 million. This actually, whenever you get a chance, man, check this video out. This house, it's stupid. And what I mean stupid, I mean like it's literally the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. This house is entirely way too big. I would never live in a house of 21 bedrooms and 49 baths at 105,000 square feet. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But it exists.
You about to put a village in that compound?
One day, if we ever have like some off time or whatever in the podcast, I'll go into the theory why these big houses being built. I can go into it for like 30 minutes. I won't do it here. But whenever you get a chance, check out the guy's channel. This guy deals with big money. Why is he getting with Afrojack and started a record label?
Oh, that's catalogs. Everybody's buying catalogs. Everybody's paying attention to what catalogs is doing. A lot of major artists, especially legacy artists, are selling catalogs. So if you can get into a situation with new artists and build outward and build that rolling, as you say, that rolling circumstance of saying, all right, this artist has 5 platinum singles, 3 gold albums, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, that's money. That's long-term play money that people don't think about on an indie level. But the labels know what's up. That's why a lot of these major companies are the ones who are putting together capital to get this.
But my thing is, they're telling artists there's no real money in the music business. If you made low 6 figures, you are a success. And yeah, in regards to the hierarchy of the classes here in the States, yes, you are a success. But look at this guy's clients. You know how we had this conversation. Actually, I think this was the first time me and you actually did an episode together. This is when I was talking about like, who, if you're at the hospital, who's going to have different conversations with the nurse or the doctor, the people on the board. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true. The higher you go up in tax bracket, there are totally different conversations. Theo, you can attest to this. Like, you're having much different conversations than you did when you first started working. about money.
Oh yeah.
Different friends, different conversations, different perspective, different mindset. If he's dealing with people that can purchase, forget purchase. If he's dealing with people that can actually create a house that's worth $295 million as his friends to showcase, how much money do you think him and Afrojack are thinking seeing in the next 2 to 5 years? I just want y'all to think about that. Again, when you come on this platform, I want y'all to think about this thing differently. This is, okay, Rant. This is, for me, the reason why I got into the music business, right, when I first started was I peaked very early. When I saw Jay-Z's Rockefeller chain and saw him retire, come back and do the deal with Jeep, deal with Jeep, Budweiser, and everything else, it was right then and there. It hit me. It dawned on me. I said, I get it now. It's not about the music. What reconfirmed it was an interview with will.i.am, which I showed in one of these episodes, where he says the whole purpose of the MP3 was to sell the CD, not the MP3. Right? This is deep. If people are buying catalogs and stuff, you need to think about this whole thing differently. It's not about just putting some music out and getting a look. It's about building a brand and doing shit your own way and having the income. Like, Russ is always going to win because he gets it. He will always super serve his niche. Some of y'all who watch this, who either watch this now, a year from now, 2 years from now, some of y'all have literally been rocking with me since 2011. And the reason why is because I make sure that whenever I put out content or whatever, I'm talking to you first. Same thing here. Okay. Now, this thing with Epic Games, right? The reason I said all that is for context for this. And Theo, feel free to interrupt me because I don't want to get long-winded. The part that got me was this part. To expand internationally and push forward development across the platform, including working on mobile apps, merch tools, as well as search and discovery features. What that is telling me, if you're on BandCamp, they're going to create some sort of system for the highest earners on BandCamp to get their music in the Epic Games. You guys have seen
beta tools.
You guys can Google some of these sync licensing checks. Some of these people got on Halo one good time. You never heard from them again.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Right. Actually, I'm trying to think. It was a rapper I was just watching some weeks ago that said the exact same thing. Is it with regard? I can't think of what his name. Was it Vic Mensa? No,
yeah, Vic Mensa.
I can't.
Call of Duty. Vic Mensa.
Hey, as a Cats is catching.
No, Vince Staples.
There it is. I'm like, I know it can't be Mensa. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of these cats. Is like you said, they disappear, but it's not that they're disappearing in the sense of the industry. They just disappear from the traditional public eye because they work on the back end. They understand what synchronization is. And it's like I told somebody this like in 2020. I said, especially when Netflix and Hulu and everything was really getting popping. I said, you are now as an artist living in the golden age, especially as a producer, because you're in a situation where you have all these content sources who have all these available content channels who want content. So let's say you as a screenplay writer, or you write TV shows, movies, whatever. It's never been a better time to exist with regards to free flowing content. So as an artist, you would have to say the same thing because they're always looking for music. Music sets the tone. Music transitions the themes of what you're watching. So it's like you just got to figure out how to get plugged in. And it's like now that you got Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, HBO Max, Hulu, you know what I'm saying, YouTube TV, there's no telling who you can sift through. Amazon Prime with original content. Every last one of these systems are making original content. Some of them are getting absorbed. Like I remember, I told the homie a couple weeks ago with the whole Funimation joint Crunchyroll, I said, that's going to get real interesting considering they just the number one and number two platform just basically collided and became one. I said, what is that going to mean now with regards to new animes coming out, music and sync licensing for animes, etc.? Now it started bearing fruit. They dumping things that's in Funimation in the Crunchyroll. So now they numbers about to start shooting up. You interested in dub, things you couldn't find on one platform and you didn't want to play for the other, you getting it all on one now. Them subscriber numbers is about to go up. So it's like it's situational. We just got to pay attention to how things are happening. We got to lift our head from the consoles. You know what I'm saying? Pull our mouth from the mic, stick our head out of the booth and say, yo, where you say that new money's coming from? Bet that. Go ahead and get me in contact. I got a record for that new movie.
Fam.
People just got to get plugged in.
Listen, speaking of which, little insight or something. You know how I know the offices are open back up? Somebody reached out to us. Yo, we had a reality TV show. We need some music. That's how I know the offices are open back up. My boy Rivers. 5 songs on Star. Being, well, let me not put out his business, but like Gucci. He was Gucci. Okay? Still working everything else. Gucci. Which brings me to this. Lin-Manuel. You guys know Lin-Manuel. He did Hamilton, right? So they're trying to calculate how much money he's made off of Bruno by himself. I saw a number, it was like 4.5 million.
Yeah,
from
I
streams.
wouldn't be surprised. That's on Bruno, literally. It's the funniest thing is like you watch the movie and you listen to the soundtrack. The whole soundtrack's great, but that song carries.
Lin-Manuel is not putting out music for y'all. He's putting out music for your kids. Go back to episode 2. Remember I said about the holographic artist? Fam, there's so much more in music than just dropping an album. But I digress. Let me go back.
I add to that. I was just looking at because Chartmetrics just did a live video basically talking about how things was breaking down throughout the year of 2021. And one of the points they had made that caught them off guard is the fact that children's music is starting to flow up because they were talking about Pandora charts and basically how things were leveling. And they're like, yeah, children's music has blew up on Pandora. And I said, and circumstantially, it's like if we think Disney, Pixar, you know what I'm saying, and all the other production companies out right now that's putting out kids' films, these kids' films are the scores to these kids' life. Never mind the film. If you literally, that's like Frozen and Frozen 2. If you had never saw those movies just on the principle that you're an adult without children, but you go and listen to those scores,
Fair.
It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's even like going back and listening to the Pocahontas. It's like, again, I ain't got no kids, bro. I don't watch Disney movies. Bro, listen to the score. It'll change your whole concept of understanding music. It's like, this stuff is real.
Bro, if I had a wish, everyone, because I do this thing where every year I ask myself, and this is how I set my game up as a producer, what is the one record that if you could put out, that if, it's yours, what's one record that you put out that you wish it was yours? Because I got this, because someone asked 50, like, what's one record that was put out not by you that you wish it was yours? He says, Lean Back by Fat Joe. Because I forgot, like, Lean Back went nuts. Especially when Eminem jumped on the remix. Like, that was going nuts.
Crazy.
You know what mine is?
What's that?
Baby Shark.
do.
I'll take a Baby
That
Shark.
took YouTube by storm.
Baby Shark, do, Daddy Shark, do. Give me that. Give me one of those. Give me them YouTube checks. Give me that.
That's real.
Give me that. Just give me one. Just give me one of those. That's how I be thinking. But that's me. Anyway, going back here. It also says, additionally, Epic Game notes that BandCamp will contribute to its vision of creative marketplace ecosystem for technology, game, arts, and music. Right? Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. There's another part here. Hold on, let's see if I can find it.
You're talking about where they bought the other company before?
Harmonix. Yeah, Harmonix. Wasn't Harmonix originally wasn't Harmonix what they call Logic Pro first? No, that was Magic something. Never mind. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, so this is gonna be great. I think this is going to be great because now I'm going to hear some Pooh Shiesty in a Call of Duty game. I think that's going to be dope. I'm going to like fam. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen.
Oh, bro.
But I think this is dope.
Listen.
I think
Every time I hear today Pooh Shiesty, I literally get re-tripped back out on that situation with the mask, where everybody looking at the ski mask, and I'm like, what generation you grew up again for you to say that this is the Pooh Shiesty mask? You talking about the ski mask, right? We've been rocking these for a whole different reason. Shiesty, his background. There's a reason why he wears it.
the man.
I was like, but it was genius how he did it though. It was just genius.
The man's name is Pooh. People grew up in black neighborhoods. We all know a Pooh. I have a cousin named Pooh. What nickname is Pooh? His last name is Shiesty. That should tell you every single thing you need to know. My brethren who are not familiar with the culture, ask one of your black friends, what is so significant about the name Pooh and Shiesty? Well, you know what Shiesty means. Just ask them the significance of the name Pooh, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. And then it's like, yeah, his music speaks for itself, but his name does so as well.
But shout out to his genius marketing move, man. That was crazy.
Yeah.
As I say this, the other side of America, who is infatuated with hip hop, fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. But yeah, this is I thought this was amazing in regard to this deal. I'm gonna keep an eye out on it because I'm wondering. See, United Masters partnered with the NBA to get there to integrate people's music into the NBA's content. Shout out to my man Drew Fresh, who got one of his joints implemented or synced into NBA commercials. So shout out to him. Also, Space City Beat Battle alumni, and if BandCamp and Epic is going to do it for video games, it's just I'm wondering like, okay, cool, who's going to do it for like regular apps and like these meditation apps and these productivity apps and fam, music is everywhere. You just gotta think about this stuff differently, man. Like when I'm trying to put together these deals in regards to like the artists we work with and the music and everything else, man, this is what I'm trying to get them to think about. But the hard part is educating them on that it's possible, because a lot of people really don't think outside the box. Just put their music out. It's like, okay, cool, and then what? Like, this isn't 1997 anymore. You really do have to think like this if you want to win out here.
Because people misunderstand. It's like, from a fan standpoint, there is too much music out there for me to care at any given moment for any one particular artist that isn't already in my playlist. And when I say playlist, I don't mean a Spotify playlist. I mean my personal playlist.
Right.
If I hear a record by recommendation, if I just by chance see a video due to a YouTube algorithm, 9 times out of 10, it's more than likely going to be someone that I'm already listening to. If I see a new artist associated with them, I'll check it out. If the thumbnail for your video looks crazy and I don't know who you are, I'm instantly intrigued because that thumbnail captured my attention. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, these are things you have to think about as an artist. And this is the things that gatekeepers used to do on your behalf, called marketing teams to these labels. Before you get to that standpoint, as an indie, you have to think like these teams do to figure out what's going to draw in the attention, because there's plenty of artists out there getting millions of hits on YouTube. That's not the thing anymore. I don't want people thinking, oh, I get 5 million hits on YouTube. Man, Joe Smo down the street that you never heard of because they from Norway got 5 million hits on YouTube on average, and they are not a signed artist.
Fam, listen,
you know what I'm saying? You just never know.
I'm working with this kid from Germany, and he showed me some of these artists he's produced records for that I've never heard from. To my dudes with like 10.3 million YouTube subscribers that you've never heard of, and like their YouTube channel is like, I mean, they have songs that have 100 million, 200 million plays, and you're just like, I've never heard of this person. But that kind of leads me, and I know we got to wrap up here soon. That kind of leads me to this question: what's selling? So when you subscribe to the DSPs, what are you subscribing to? Are you subscribing to the DSP itself or the access to the music?
See, and that's a great question. So I mean, arguably, arguably one would say both, in the sense that you're giving them the money so you can access their platform. That platform allows you to access the artist's music. But if you're dealing with a system like Spotify, where they now do podcast and merch sales, it's not just the music anymore. It's what's available to the platform on top of the music. You start with the music, but then you stay for everything else.
Yeah, we can really do like a deep dive on this, man. And I don't want to talk your ear off, man. I feel like this is a good stopping point. I feel we covered a lot. I got some shit off my chest. You feel like you got some shit off your chest?
Most definitely, we rocked out. We definitely rocked out tonight.
So Theo, let's give them an update in regards, because I know you guys have been asking. You've been in my DMs. You want to do it in the comments because you guys are weirdos. I'm joking. I'm saying that to you guys as a joke, but no, a lot of you producer guys, you guys are weirdos. I care nothing for you, but shout out to y'all. Give the people a little update in regards to what we're doing to get this podcast on all DSPs. Just a little something.
Oh yeah. We about to definitely get an audio feed out here for you one more time. For all those who know about RSS feeds, that's going to be the next stage for the podcast. So we can definitely get this to you on a different level. I can't tell you what we're using right now and what that situation looks like, because that's currently under wraps. But just know that's definitely coming in. The RSS feed will definitely be coming to you soon. So you can definitely access us on Spotify, Apple Music, and however you choose to ingest your content.
Yeah. And we're still working on the Facebook group. It just, like I said, I this week, my shoulder got tapped for some major projects that I had to submit some stuff on. I'm gonna actually work on that this weekend, but we're bringing it to you. It's just that we got jobs. we have other stuff we have to take care of, and you know what I'm saying. We'll get to it, man. But like I said, I appreciate you guys rocking out. Just please hit like and subscribe. Please let us know in the comments. We would love for you to send comments, not DMs. I am going to screenshot some. Now I'm thinking about, I'm going to screenshot some DMs and post them on here, so y'all don't think I'm making this up. Yeah, man, that's all I got. We're not going to do a music segment this time, but we will do it for the next one, because I feel like we had to make it up to you guys. But that's it, man. Theo, any closing remarks, anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, man, I say, you know what I'm saying, on that emphasis of knowledge and power, man, check out a CRM platform, man. Figure out how you can get your customer relationship management systems up.
Whoa, easy.
Oh, you don't want me to hit them like that? Oh, okay, I'll dial them back like 5 seconds. Get your customer relationships up, man. Get your network up and find a management system that'll let that happen. Get your, also, one last thing before we roll out, a project management system so you can make your day by day maximize. And that's all we got.
Fam, you know what, I'm saying that while I was like easy and everything else. Fam, if I'm being real, right? Let me go and promote myself. Hold on, where is my is this it? No. That's me covering me being an A&R or whatever. Where is the damn, here we go. I've actually already covered this in, where is it? Here. I actually already covered it. So go to my Hänz vlog, how to follow up in music industry. I give you step-by-step guides on how to do it and everything else. But yeah, man. There's Mr. Baldy. But yeah, man, just look into this stuff, man. Hit like, subscribe. We thank you again. We really appreciate the comments. Like I said, that means a lot. That means we're just not up here just talking shit and, you know, no one's listening. I'm glad you guys are listening. But take care, be easy, have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys all next week. Peace.
Oh, and save them videos to your playlist.